Scientists reveal the real reasons hurricanes are getting stronger and more common in the U.S., and what to expect in the next coming months and years. The United States experiences more extreme weather than any other country on the planet, and numerous scientists blame geography for this. The Rocky Mountains, two oceans, the Gulf of Mexico, jutting peninsulas like Florida, colliding storm fronts, the jet stream, and two oceans all work together to naturally produce the worst weather. Other countries may have more people and a larger land area than the USS, but they don't have the same kind of clash of air masses as much as you do in the United States, which is producing a lot of severe weather. The country is located in an area where hurricanes frequently form and travel. The Atlantic Ocean particularly, its tropical and subtropical areas are major storm breeding sites. The Gulf of Mexico and the United States Atlantic coast are particularly vulnerable to severe storms because warm ocean waters are required for hurricanes to gain energy and intensify. Warm seas in the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic supply the heat and moisture needed for storms to form and build. The California Current, which sends cold seas from Alaska south along the west coast and northern Baja California, prevents waters off the United States west coast from reaching this threshold. According to NOAA's National Centers for Environmental Information, sea surface temperatures off the central and southern Pacific coasts are normally in the 50 and 60 degrees Fahrenheit. However, in late June and early September, the waters may creep into the low 70, which is the most likely time for tropical system remnants to hit this region. Hurricanes also need the Coriolis effect to develop the rotation required for their formation and circulation. This effect is significant enough in the latitudes where the U.S. is located to facilitate hurricane development. The United States atmospheric conditions that favor storm formation and intensity don't help. Hurricanes are also a result of factors such as little wind shear and a stable atmospheric environment. With Hurricane Hilary, the normal easterly winds were shifted farther away from the coastline. Instead, there was a strong ridge of high pressure over the south-central United States and a mid to upper-level low-pressure system off the west coast, which allowed the storm to be pulled much farther north in the flow between the two systems, as was noted by an NHC discussion. Hurricane Hilary produced torrential rains and strong gusts to Baja California and Southern California, areas that are not accustomed to tropical rainfall, particularly during their dry season, which runs from May to September. Are you in one of the hurricane hotspots in the U.S.? Let us know what state you are in the comments section below. Supercyclones' routes might take them to the United States East Coast, Gulf Coast, or Caribbean islands. The patterns of hurricane tracks in the areas they cover contribute to the frequency of hurricanes striking the United States. The Atlantic hurricane season normally lasts from June 1 to November 30, giving possible hurricane formation and activity a rather long window. So, what do researchers say about the future of hurricanes in the U.S.? According to the researchers, the most catastrophic storms in the United States are 3 times more common than they were 100 years ago, and the proportion of major hurricanes that are Category 3 and above in the Atlantic Ocean has more than doubled since 1980. This trend will accelerate and imperil millions of people as the Earth warms. Because of climate change, the rate at which hurricanes intensify has also increased in the Atlantic during the 1980s. Laura and Dorian are 2 prime examples. Both quickly escalated near landfall, making it difficult to forecast the potential hazard. At the same time, hurricanes are moving more slowly, perhaps causing greater damage. Scientists are still disputing how this decrease in speed is related to climate change. But here's the prevailing theory. In a warmer climate, the winds that drive hurricanes move slower. The devastation caused by recent hurricanes demonstrates that we need research more than ever to help us plan for and respond to climate change. The findings reveal an unexpected effect of climate change. Coastal populations are suffering more dangerous storms, even though the total number of storms does not appear to be changing. I think it's important for the public to take this seriously, says Adam Sobel, a Columbia University climate scientist who was not involved in the current study. The storms are intensifying. So, even for the same number of storms, the number of storms that represent a significant threat increases as they strengthen. Will more hurricanes be coming? NOAA has raised its forecast for the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season from near normal to above normal. Forecasters at NOAA now predict 14 to 21 named storms. It predicts that 6 to 11 of them will become hurricanes, with 2 to 5 being major storms. Storms that have already formed this season are included in the update. According to a report by CoreLogic, a company that provides data and analytics to insurance companies, real estate professionals, and financial institutions, more than 32 million single family homes and 1 million multifamily residences are at moderate or greater risk of sustaining damage from hurricane-force winds. Nearly 8 million of these residences are directly or indirectly exposed to the coast and are vulnerable to storm surge flooding. Early warning systems, building rules, and keeping development out of the most risky places can all help safeguard towns from the current storms. Storm surges can be absorbed by natural infrastructure, such as restored wetlands. To address the core cause of the problem, of climate change, the world must reduce carbon dioxide emissions. Science has also demonstrated that reducing methane pollution, another greenhouse gas, is the quickest method to halt global warming and avoid some of the most severe climate impacts. While the United States encounters a significant number of hurricanes, other parts of the world are also at risk from tropical cyclones. Hurricane preparedness, Earth's warning systems, and adaptive methods are critical to reducing the impact of hurricanes on communities and infrastructure. Check out our other videos about geography, facts, and history.